Hi, I'm Martin Ramju, editor of LCT Magazine, and as part of our continuing educational series with operators from around the world, I am with Neil Davies with Secure Ground Transportation, London, United Kingdom. Neil, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
Tell me about the security component of your company and how it complements chauffeured service.
Okay, so in the UK, unlike many countries around the world, we're not allowed to carry firearms. The only people who carry firearms in the UK are police and military. So we had to look at a different way of how we could protect our clients, high net worth or otherwise. And we hit on a style of driving. So we've been trained by the people that are part of the Special Escort Group who escort Her Majesty the Queen, visiting dignitaries, prime ministers, presidents, royal family when they're in London. So we've developed a style of driving which is security driving, vehicle management and anti-hijack techniques. Because of the training, the security chauffeurs are unflustered, which means that if anything happens, they've got the tools in their toolkit to just flick a switch and get out of there. And that we find, especially with our high net worth American clients and the CEOs of multinational companies, when they're in, because of the style of driving, they don't feel the need for a bodyguard, which they would ordinarily have in any other country they visit.
What's a typical client request that you get? How does just walk me through that?
So we'll get a request in for either a standard chauffeur, which might be for somebody who's middle management, or somebody who's over on vacation but is used to a car service through work. They'll ask for a standard chauffeur. And then when it comes to corporations that have their own security division, you know, they've got their own security in-house, they'll ask for a security chauffeur. They'll ask about our background, they'll ask about the training we've undertaken, they'll ask about accident records. We don't. We're trained to such a high level. The only people that have a higher driving qualification in the UK are the police. And it's interesting to note that every member of the British royal family have undertaken the exact driving course that we've taken because they still drive themselves. Prince William and Catherine, they still drive the children to school. And they've taken the training that we've taken.
Do they have vehicles following them? Or
they have one vehicle behind them, but they have no security detail in their vehicle.
So what do you find is driving the demand for this? Do you have to advertise your services, or has the overall climate with terrorism and security driven a lot of the demand?
Obviously with Google, you know, people will Google a company. There'll be keywords that they look for. Sometimes we'll get clients from that because they're looking for the specific security driving, security chauffeur, executive security chauffeur, or permutations of all three. But the majority of people that come to us through word of mouth. You know, Joe Bloggs is sat at an FBO waiting to get onto his jet, and he's flying off to China. And he bumps into a friend of his because these high net worth people, it's a small circle. Bumps into a friend of his and he says, oh yeah, I'm going to London next month. Who do you use there? I see that you were telling me that you were going to London last time I saw you. You Secure Ground Transportation. That's the recommendation that we get.
What are the typical vehicles that you use?
So we've got, in our fleet, we've got S-Class, we've got V-Class, we've got some Range Rover Autobiography long wheelbase, and those are the vehicles that tend to be used on the security side. We've also got chauffeurs in S-Class and V-Class, and we've also got access we use for conferences, Sprinters, but the Sprinters are mainly a people mover for larger numbers. The high net worth and the security side is always V-Class, S-Class, Range Rover.
Do you have to get any of the vehicles armor plated?
No, there's no requirement in the UK. The only people that tend to ask for armor plated, they tend to be people from Saudi Arabia. Yep.
And do you accommodate that through an affiliate? Do you have any?
No, there's somebody in the UK that has armour-plated vehicles, but they are old because they cost so much. You know, they cost about £300,000 on top of the initial outlay of the vehicle. They cost about £300,000 to convert. Because it's not a case of just putting armour, you know, steel on the side of a vehicle. You've got to upgrade the wheels, you've got to upgrade the tyres, you've got to upgrade the suspension, you've got to have larger brakes because the vehicle's heavier, it needs to, you know, longer distance to stop. So it's not economically viable for anybody to have a fleet like that because they cost so much.
So just switching gears here for a minute, this is your second LCT show.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
And this is the first time you're also exhibiting.
Yep.
So what is it that draws you to this show? What are you getting out of it? What is it that would bring you back?
Well, we attended last year and we met some operators that come here that operate to the same high level that we operate. We don't want anybody that's operating way below us because, you know, when people use us in the UK, they know that they get an excellent service. And so last year we found a number of affiliates that operate at a very high level. They've got their own high net worth individual clients. And that's what we were looking for. We found a few more that operate, new operators to us that operate in the same way at this show. And we'll continue to come back because we like the diversity of the people that attend. The show is huge. It seems to be bigger this year than last year. There seem to be more people on the show floor than there were last year. There's a good atmosphere out there, and from a good atmosphere, you're going to get people that will relax a little bit in your company. And when people relax, you get to see the true them. It's not all show. It's not all glitz and glamour. You know, you get the true person, and we found that by talking to people.
Very well. Thank you for joining us, and thanks for coming. We look forward to seeing you again.
Pleasure. Thank you.